We're talking everything from A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, episode 5. We got the big battle, the crazy ending, and everything in between. We're going to discuss all that and more on an all-episode of Unbinged starting now. Welcome into Unbinged, the podcast where we break down the show's movies and news you love to binge. I'm Alfredo Brown. I got Jagger, May, Sam Holt, Matt Kopfhamer with me. We're going to talk everything from this episode of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, but first, a spoiler warning.
This is your one and only spoiler warning for everything Game of Thrones, from books, movies, television, whatever. You name it, we're probably going to cover it.
Not the time to lose one's head. It's not the way to get ahead in life.
Bloody.
It's a shame he wasn't more headstrong.
Womp womp.
He'll never be the head of a major corporation.
This was the Austin Powers stuff you talked
Yes.
about? Did
Yeah.
you write
Yeah,
all these down?
I did write all these down.
Okay.
Because that's all I was thinking of. It's just like there's Mike Myers just off in the corner just saying these lines to Vanessa. And she's like, okay, that's enough.
I feel like Gabby says that to you a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my wife was actually watching this episode with me. But guys, let's not bury our heads in the sand here. Sir Baelor Targaryen.
One more for the road.
Baelor Targaryen, man. What? This is crazy. The helmet was holding it all in. You immediately, you're like, oh, did his brain fall out the back? Like right after I watched it? What a way to end this.
Almost. Yeah, it sucks. Especially given how honorable of just a person in a royal that Baelor was. He exemplified all the good things that a Targaryen king or crown prince could exemplify and be. And now, unfortunately, we get the drama of, well, he died. Who's next in line? His son Valar, which we have met in this show. He's the one that Aerion kind of taunted before calling out.
Cousin.
Cousin, yeah, come out and play. Yeah. That
Little dragon.
Little dragon. So now he's crown prince, and probably 20 to 30 years before his time that he was expecting. But that's how the thing goes when you play the Game of Thrones.
Ayo.
Oh, I don't know if I loved it or hated it, but respect for you.
Yeah,
not bad. Guys, this was a really cool episode. I think at first I was a little nervous when they went back and did the whole flashback, and I was wondering how long are you going to do this flashback for. I think they really nailed everything from the flashback to the battle sequence. Sam, how'd this one stand out for you?
I loved it. I mean, we all read the book and, we're following the literature. We all saw this coming. If you read the book, you knew what was going to happen. And I really appreciated them staying true to that, even though part of me was like, maybe they'll differ from the book and he'll stay alive, because I was just enjoying this character too much. But I'm glad that they didn't do that. Throwing in the flashback in the middle of Dunk's blackout, I think, was a perfect choice, because in the book, when he blacks out and comes to, there is a time gap. And I think that it was a really good use of time and space to add levels to his character and to his history, that he's always been someone that has, been a little trepidatious, but wanting to do the right thing, and not knowing what that always means, but wanting to do the right thing. And I think that is really powerful, the way that they showed it with his relationship there, and then also trying to win for her, and just all these things. And then the way that he meets Sir Arlen, I loved the way they added that in.
He was just kind of a creepy little kid, but he was following
Sir Arlen. He wasn't creepy.
I mean, in real life, if you had a child that was following you across miles, you'd be a little weirded out.
A clearly homeless child, we feel bad for the child. Wow.
I don't know. Definitely a homeless child following me for days would absolutely creep me out.
You wouldn't try and help this child?
Oh, if I noticed him, for sure. I'm just saying.
You saved his life, so it's not that crazy that it would
okay,
follow
fair.
you saved his life.
Fair.
Like, if I was a little orphan boy and you saved my life, I'd be like, hey, I'm going to follow you until something else happens. That makes me realize.
I mean,
he's
he's basically saw his hero, which is nuts. Is like, I don't even think Sir Arlen even knew he did that. Like the next
he's
day,
blackout drunk.
Yeah,
he
was like, leave that boy alone.
Yeah.
Sir Arlen is like every frat guy in college that someone the next morning is like, dude, you were crazy at the party last night. Really? I was.
You got stabbed with a screwdriver.
But valiant. Not a lot of frat guys are valiant.
That's true. He'd be coming, hey,
But
leave
they are
that
looking
girl
to scrap.
alone. Roof
You,
her
sir,
first.
stop raping.
That's not funny.
That was a wild fight scene, though, in the alley. I was not expecting that. So
I loved that
thought
fight
was
scene.
Really well done. Yeah.
The environment.
The girl who plays Dunk's
Rafe.
girlfriend there?
Rafe, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rafe.
She's the girl from
She's
Dune
from Dune
Prophecy.
Prophecy.
Dude, Prophecy. Damn it! I wanted to rage bait cough. I was gonna like,
You
you know,
took
he's
too-
our biggest fan.
Too
you know?
long. Took too long. I already knew.
Got to be
Already
quicker than
vented
that.
earlier.
Oh, like Koff already punched a wall about it.
There's a reason I don't pan my camera over. So
I'm gonna say I haven't read the books, but I will say Dune Prophecy was an excellent show. Maybe even better than the movies.
go fuck yourself.
Now that we got Koff in a good mood here. I want to say this, man. The fighting was fantastic, and that's one of those things where I think I've been waiting to see, like, can they pull that off? Because they've pulled off heart, they've pulled off comedy, they've pulled off the set design, everything from just the way characters are dressed, all of it. And I'm like, man, are they really going to pull off the fighting here? And I mean, you've got Peter Claffey, who's a former athlete, a rugby player. So you know he's got the athleticism to do it, but the fight scenes were shot really well. There was a sort of Battle of the Bastards level of anxiety and exhaustion to this fight that I really felt like we got transported into Dunk's psyche. Like, even just having that visual of looking out the helmet and the tiny little space that you see there. Like, you felt it. The morning stars to the head were crazy. Like, I felt it as a viewer.
Yeah.
Brutal. And
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
And this one, question for Koff from the audience. I really liked in these fight scenes how the perspective was very much from Dunk's point of view and the way that the sound was going in and out in battle and the camera angles of him sitting back and forth. Are there a lot of fight scenes in the rest of Game of Thrones like this that are so individually perspective-wise? Like, is this unique to this show? I wanted to know if this is looking different than what Game of Thrones has shown battles before.
I just want
Great
to point
question,
out that I've
first of
also read
all.
the books.
So in the books, the books are designed in
No,
point
no,
of view
in the show,
perspectives and
in the
chapters.
show.
In the
I've
show.
also watched the show.
Okay, so in
Oh,
the show,
Sam, you know what?
it's
I
more-
forget that you haven't watched
She hasn't
Game
seen
of
it.
Thrones.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking.
So
go,
great
Guys,
question, Sam.
everyone let her
Yeah.
know in the comments, by the way, what she's missing out on.
Great question, Sam. Thank you for
Thanks.
asking. Most of the battles are
qualifying
shot
it
in more
over
of
and
more of a third person perspective. There are a couple though that are more like first person. One is, and they kind of do a cheap trick in the first season with Tyrion when he goes to fight against like a bunch of I think it's in the Vale. They kind of like go to his perspective and then gets knocked out, and then it cuts to the end of the battle. So it's like
Camera's
from
really
his
low?
perspective.
So was the camera
What?
really low? Like,
No, I'm following. My question is
no,
like,
never mind.
And then-
Joke went over fucking everyone's head there.
I
You
don't
said
know what you're
Tyrion's
talking
perspective. I said, was the camera really
Oh,
low?
yeah,
and we missed it
sure.
4 fucking times. I'm not going
My
to keep
bad.
saying it.
Anyway, and then
We're
there's a
actually listening
famous
to Cobb.
episode. There's a famous episode called Battle of the Bastards, which is from Jon Snow's perspective primarily. And you get a lot of like with Dunk, like when Dunk gets a face full of mud, you get a similar perspective from Jon Snow,
Yes.
where he gets trampled into the mud. So it's more rare. But yeah, great question. Thank you.
no, because and I'm going to explain why I wanted to ask, because there's so much going into the filming of this show that they're saying is, and we're all talking about how different this is and how different this feels from Game of Thrones. So for myself, knowing that there was going to be a battle or a fight scene, I was curious if they were going to handle that in a little different way than they have historically. So that's why I wanted to ask. Sorry, Alfredo, you can go back to talking about yourself now.
I'm not done, though. But there's another that is first person from Ghost's perspective, which is a dog, which is dope.
Good-
Which that is the
good
first,
point.
like the Battle of Blackwater is the first big one, but the next one after they storm the wall, where you get the ghost scene, which is really really good. Because the way Game of Thrones works is one season you get a major death, the next season you get a major battle, and it flip flops like that. So, I just want to give the dog love, Cough. Like, love the dog, okay? This is
The
2026,
direwolf?
dude. Oh, well, he's a puppy
Yeah.
to me. He's a little boy.
Yeah.
No baby.
He's another little baby to me, dog.
Yeah, this fight, man, I think it took us right back to everything that we felt from Game of Thrones. I don't know that I've really had any of that same excitement when watching House of the Dragon through any of like the fighting stuff they've had there. Like, some of it's been okay with like Daemon, but
The
Like,
only,
is there more heart in this as a whole?
Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's why I
So-
specifically referenced Battle of the Bastards, because in
Got it.
that, Jon Snow is essentially like trapped in a pile of men that are all just like stabbing and killing each other, and they're all dying on top of each other. And it is the most anxiety-inducing scene I think I've ever watched on television. And
If you have
that's how
any
this had me feeling.
claustrophobia, yeah, if you have any claustrophobia, that shit is turned to 11. The one battle that I think House of the Dragon gets even close to, and it's because they cheat and they use dragons, is when the Melee's Vhagar fight in the sky, and like that's basically the only one. And again, it's because they have dragons, and so it's not the same.
You take your CGI dragons elsewhere. I'm good with just the 6'5" man
Where are they supposed to get the real ones?
just grabbing the shield and
make
going full John Walker on Aryan Brightflame. It was great,
shit was
man. The shield to
dope
the
as
face
hell.
was just fucking awesome.
People
love the John
forget
Walker
shields can be a
reference, too.
weapon. Yeah, shields can be weapons.
I mean, Dunk used it to bash this guy's head in, so definitely a weapon.
Like Dunk is totally. I'm not a killer, but don't push me. Like that motherfucker is not
Love it.
ready
That's
to
what this-
kill.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's what this whole episode was, dude. Like, this was it, like doing the flashback shows him. It's like he's so different from a lot of these people. Yes, the guys like Aryan have all been training every day and learning proper swordsmanship, but like no one else has experienced the desperation of coming from the fucking gutter, like living underneath floorboards of a building and just trying to scrounge together food, and everything every day is life or death. Like, that's why he, in this moment, he doesn't yield. He actually, like, almost what it appears like, comes back from death to stand up and keep going, while the other guy's like, all right, I give up. Like, he just, I yield.
This giant zombie man is now going to keep beating me if I don't yield.
What was your favorite moment of the fight? Because I have one that I want to talk about.
I think my favorite moment of the fight is actually not the fight. It's when it's over, and it is Dunk dragging Aryan by the leg
That's
to
a good
take him
one.
to go yield.
That's a good one.
Because
That's
it's
a
the
good one.
first time that we really see Dunk take initiative and just throw titles and status and everything out the window. This guy said he
big.
yield, but he's like, I don't fucking trust that you're actually going to do it. I'm going to grab your ass. I'm going to take you over in front of everyone, stand you up in front of them, and say it again. Say it again, mother. Like, that was just such a moment for me where Dunk said, like, all this stuff can go to the side. I just want to live. I'm going to win this fight.
And
So good.
you're right, Alfredo. This was a sandwich in the best way, where like the meat of the fight, fucking delicious, but that bread on both ends of it is what really put it all together. Because like the beginning was so meaningful for me when like we saw that a brief hint of that shell shock or PTSD that he had earlier when he first sees like that first tilt or whatever, because he's imagining Sir Arlen and how he died. He feels that once he's in the moment. Then when he quite literally gets in the shit, gets in the mud and comes out of it, then you got that boss, like a gangster came out the mud. He's like a Kevin Gates song, dog, like straight up. I don't even like
That's such
Kevin
a
Gates.
good
Don't judge me.
description. Even
Sam,
in the
what was your
beginning,
favorite
though,
part?
the way that Egg was like telling the horse to go and had that call back to the previous episode with the training, I loved that because Egg was almost in the fight or trying to start the fight with Dunk to like bring him along. So I loved that too.
Hell yeah. So my favorite part, it was very, very quick. And we've been kind of joking this whole season how Maekar, like, he fucking hates his kids, like, especially Arion. But there's a moment where Dunk slashes Arion in the leg or in the groin. And then Maekar sees it and literally goes, "My boy," and like not like hits his brother.
Cedric
And
Diggory.
that might have been like the killing blow right there, and like goes just hard as hell try to get to his son to protect his son, and that to me was such a powerful moment where it's like even a father who is so tired of his kid's shit and his kid being a little dickhead, that when he sees his child in danger, he will throw all caution to the wind and do everything in his power to try to get to him. And I thought that was a really powerful moment. I love that little spot.
So that's interesting because I had the exact opposite perspective. I took it almost as like he doesn't want his kid to lose because that'd be embarrassing as fuck.
Oh, that's probably part of it. But there's
I
also
think it
like
could be
that
both.
Can be
the
both.
immediate reaction of like, my boy was like, oh shit, my baby boy's in trouble. But you're right. There might be that underlying like, oh fuck, he's making me look bad.
Yeah, I think I'm you are right, Alfredo, but I think that your thought is like a little bit secondary because like that my boy part, and I imagine Makar is like a sitcom dad, like the old school ones where they're kind of
Like
a
Al
shit
Bundy?
dad and husband, but that's the joke. Except like he deservedly is in this point, whereas like you look at what is it, My Wife and Kids. Now, what's the one with Al Bundy? Like that show. I'm like, all right, this dude's kind of a
Married
fucking
with
crash-
Children.
Kids.
Married with kids.
Married
Married with
Children.
children.
Yeah, he's a crash out, a shoe salesman, and like he's kind of a dick to his kids. Same thing with Homer. Well,
Hey, he scored
imagine
4
if
touchdowns
Bart,
on the state championship game.
exactly. But imagine if Bart was given the kingdom, essentially.
The helmet kind of looks like Bart's hair. I'm not gonna lie.
It does.
Arian
Oh,
Brightflash.
yes.
Yeah.
I love his fucking armor. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So like to me, Makar deserves to be tired. He doesn't hate his kids, but he's like, fuck, maybe my jizz is dirty or something like that.
Forever unclean.
Made him nothing but
That's
shit
crazy.
asses.
That's crazy.
The way that you get me with not knowing what you're going to say, Jack, I'm like, I'm following. I'm like, yeah, totally there. And then you just, and I'm like, oh.
If you didn't think he
Gotta
was
keep
gonna
him
say
on
that,
your
you never
toes.
knew him at all.
How would I know he was going to say that?
That's on you. This is your fault for having ears.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Why fuck me? Oh, God.
Yeah, there was a moment there. Did I catch this right? It looked like Arian's fingers got sliced off. Like, especially in the armor, there was a very Sauron moment there where it looked like the fingers got cut off.
I thought
Or-
the same
or were they just
thing.
in
I
blood?
think they were just cut and bleeding. But you're right. It looked like he had taken the tips, at least the tips off. But I don't think so. I think he
just the
was
tip?
Take the
bleeding.
tip.
Just the tip.
It's rough.
I wonder if this battle. I mean, we already know the underlying mental health issues of inbreeding. Let's just put a pin in that. But I wonder if this
We
battle.
could cover that for the next 20 minutes if
Exactly.
we want to go for inbreeding.
No, I don't want to.
On
I don't
this
want to go down
episode,
that
we
route.
covered
I
it.
Okay,
just want to
good,
dip
good.
my toes and get out.
Said
you
no
should.
one
Just
ever.
Dip your toes in the incest pool and get right back out.
Ew.
I think that was this a pivotal moment to make Arian Brightflame nuts? Like is this like his Joker moment?
Quite possible.
Yeah, and if
quite
you say
possible.
spoilers, go fuck yourself because we learned this in Game of Thrones. It's already been out. But Arian Blackflame kills
Blame
himself
Joffrey.
by drinking wildfire. Like, did this battle fuck him up? Like, this has got to crush your psyche. You're already an arrogant little bitch, you know?
Yeah.
This definitely pushed him over the edge, I'm sure. Because up until this point, he believes himself to be a dragon incarnate just in human form. He needs to release the dragon with it, whatever bullshit. That's why he drank wildfire. Honestly, I never thought about it, but you're right. This kind of embarrassing moment in front of literally the entire realm where you got beat to shit in front of everyone and dragged through the mud and then forced to like yield in front of your father. Like, yeah, I could see this
Essentially
being
by a knight with no
thing
name.
that- yeah.
Hit him with the
Pushing
Ace
you to be
Ventura.
like-
Do not pass go. Ragdoll his ass.
It's lovely, but I prefer myself in autumn.
So yeah, I could absolutely see in this being what, he goes over to Essos in like semi-exile and be like, you know what, I'm gonna get this motherfucker back. I'm gonna be a real dragon, and then sip dead.
What kind of fucked up in the head are you that you're like, all right, I lost today, but I can turn into a dragon?
Do you think he juice boxed it, like punched a little straw in it? Like,
Dumb bitch juice.
I kind of want to know what it tastes like. Is it like a sip where it's like he's like, oh, this is terrible, but I can keep going, or is like, does it taste good? And he's just like,
I don't think you could taste it, dog. I think it immediately burns through your body. Like, I
Yeah.
think you're immediately
Oh, you're talking about the fire.
I don't think there's
The
much of a
wildfire.
palate cleansing going on there. It's just more of a like,
No, there's a palate
I'm
cleansing
dead.
forever.
yeah.
I still thought you were talking about dumb bitch juice.
Oh
And I was like,
that tastes like?
I'm like, I don't know. Is that a thing?
no. The problem is dumb bitch juice tastes delicious, and that's why we all drink it so much. Like, it tricks us. Like, no.
By the way, if you do not drink the dumb bitch juice, take a sec to like this video, comment down below, subscribe to Unbinged, whether it's here on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever. Leave a 5-star review. Those have been helping us so much. We're going to be covering the finale of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms next week. Every Tuesday, we got your biggest headlines in entertainment. We're talking movies, news, whatever. And then every Thursday night, we've got The Pit coming up. Paradise on Hulu/Disney, whatever you want to call it. They have a 3-episode premiere on Monday, February 23rd. We will be covering that as well. Plus, if you enjoy like spending time with us and you're also a football fan, we've got the Front Row NFL show. You can find that wherever you get your podcasts as well. YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Join myself, Jag, Sam, where every week we are talking about the latest that's going on in the NFL. We got free agency and the NFL draft coming up, so join us for that. After the trial, Sam, one thing that you noted here was after the trial is like Dunk is going to be absolutely wrecked. And to me, this fight, this flashback, this whole episode, and really what this series has always been about is never quite what it looks like on the surface, which is the nobility and legacy and all that. To me, it's always been more so about the human spirit and how much Dunk can overcome, how much he's willing to take. And now we're going to see that, where I think it's going to lead really nicely into season 2, that this death is really going to affect him.
100%. I think if the flashbacks of Sir Arlen are what's motivating him to even strive to be the best knight he can be, this death, I think, is going to push him to another level where we've been seeing him be hesitant, not really know his own strength, not know what he's best at. I think that starts to go away after this episode because he's going to want to avenge Baelor's death. And I do feel like that's going to be a huge driving factor into additional flashbacks, perhaps, or even just moments of honor and cementing what he believes is good and trying to uphold that the best that he possibly can.
Yeah, because if he felt like that for Sir Arlen, who is a quote unquote a shit knight,
yeah,
imagine how he's gonna stand like Baelor. Like, you know, Baelor go down as like the best that never was. He's on like some Brandon Roy shit, Derrick Rose. You know.
Oh, you gotta hurt me like that.
Yeah, sorry.
Wait, no, not Greg.
Greg
Oden?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, cough now.
Greg Oden never was.
Yeah.
He would have been if
no,
he
we're
had
gonna have a different
knees.
fight now.
No. Brandon Roy was. We're not doing this.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're not doing this. I will
Subscribe
say,
to Front Row if you want us to hear conversations like this. There you go.
That's right, baby. That's right. I will say this, man. Given his story and everything, ESPN would have a field day with Dunk's background. They love this shit in the NFL draft when they're like, both of his parents were murdered and he lived in a
Hasn't
sewer.
talked to his mother in 16 years.
He would work at Taco Bell at age 6 and drive to practice. They would love Dunk.
You can hear Chris Collinsworth. Oh man, this guy. You know.
Here's a guy.
You know,
He's a scrappy gym rat.
Just comes sliding in. Here's a guy.
every second's like, you know, this kid grew up in Flea Bottom, right? Anytime.
That wingspan though, can't teach that. Like,
This is why coaches love Dunk. He just puts his helmet on and goes to work.
yeah,
He's the everyman.
Bring your lunch to work type.
Oh my god.
not quite the same as comp as like a Cam Scataboo.
So who is Dunk if we're comping him?
I want like he's too humble. Who's the most humble greatest of all time ever? That's one of the hardest things to say.
Oh god.
Because
I have a few thoughts. I feel like no, he's too smart. I was
what's
gonna
a name? I'm curious. Who's too smart?
Well, in terms of like being more quiet, I was going to say like a Luke Kuechly in terms of like the way that he goes into the game. Like he's unassuming, as opposed to like JJ Watt was trash talking before, on, and after the field with his level of athleticism. But Luke is very much like, you don't see it until, the whistle blows and then he's going. But he's got a different like game mindset where he's also dissecting defenses, and Dunk's not at that spot yet where he can identify a defense and
Joe
then change his
Thomas.
coverage.
Okay,
Dunk
that's
is Joe
actually pretty good.
Thomas.
I was gonna say, what is Rob Gronkowski if he was just nice and not like a bro? because like Rob Gronkowski's dumb as shit. But
Yeah.
Rob is closer to
Yeah.
Ariel Bright Flame. Than
that's
he
what
is
I'm
Rob.
saying. If he's a nice Aaron, or he's like closer to Lionel Baratheon.
Yes,
like
there you go.
He
He's
would
a
be the
lineman.
laughing
Yeah,
stock.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've lost all the people who don't
He
know
could
what we're talking
he could turn into like a Troy Polamalu where he's just like super nice and friendly until it goes and he becomes that level of
That's
menacing.
Raymond Fossaway. Raymond Fossaway is a Joy Palomar.
This is a whole nother episode
Right,
we
right.
can do.
Yeah,
Fair.
we're
This sounds like a
comping-
bonus content.
Sorry,
it.
guys.
Just
Sound like bonus
comping all
content.
Game of Thrones characters to
Start
athletes.
talking football, I can't stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
We put a quarter in Sam's jukebox.
Sorry.
That
It
sound.
doesn't work so well with women. I don't.
I
love
was
that.
about to say that
don't love
sounded
that.
totally
I
different.
didn't take it weird until you made it weird.
Yeah, well, I was gonna
But
say,
we're always gonna make it weird.
Yeah.
Like, you never knew us at all. So
So to
use that joke
refocus,
twice today.
we lost.
yeah, so-
we lost Baelor, but we also lost two others in the fight. I don't know. It was a throwaway line, but we lost Sir Humphrey Harding and Sir Humphrey Beesbury. So they were brother-in-laws. They both died in the initial joust tilt, and then Baelor, obviously. But those are the only three that actually.
Damn,
died
that's
during the
tearing
fight.
your Achilles in the first play of the game.
Yeah, basically.
That
And then
sucks.
yeah, it is. But he already had
I
a broken
only-
leg, so he was already at a disadvantage.
I only remember
true.
Beesbury because he had a very bright orange mustache and it was a little distracting.
A little bit.
Andy Dalton.
we gotta stop.
Red
We
Rocket.
gotta stop.
We gotta stop doing this. Something that I know we had the two deaths, and honestly, like, conflicts. You name the characters, I'm like, oh no, that's so sad. Anyways,
It's Baelor.
'Cause, like,
Baelor's the
yeah.
one that matters. Yeah, exactly. I just wanted
Right,
to give
and
respect.
no, yeah, no. Dragons to them, sure. But I don't know.
What does that even mean? Are you throwing a gold
The
dragon?
coins?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
yeah,
okay,
sure,
okay.
yeah.
There we go. That makes sense.
Gold dragon to their family, whatever. But Sam, something you wrote here too is like Dunk's urgent and quick like desire to pledge himself to Sir Baelor Targaryen. It's kind of what he had always wanted, and I feel like he believes he has to do it even more so because this person stood with him and he survived and he made it through, and he feels he owes his life to this man. And now that man is gone. So this is going to be one of the first times where I don't know if Dunk even has a North Star of like something he is heading towards anymore, and he has to try to figure out his life like for the first time in a while.
Well, doesn't he also, and Koff, please correct me if I'm wrong, but and it might just be in the books or maybe they did mention it in the show already, that he was thinking about pledging himself to the King's Knights when he saw them ride in on these white horses in this amazing armor. And he's like, well, if I can't make it like this, I could pledge myself to someone or try and be a knight that way in terms of trying to grow into his knighthood and what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
So like it
his
was already
ultimate
like in
goal-
his head.
Yeah, his ultimate goal is to become one of the Kingsguard. And then to do that, you need to make a name for yourself. And the easiest way to do that is to put yourself in the service of a minor lord or great lord if you are lucky enough. And then, protect their household. And then if there's any battles, make a name for yourself in the battle. Especially somebody like Dunk, who is a literal unknown. He has no name. He has no family to lean on. Like, he was enamored by the guy, the crabber, right? The crabber son, until he realizes that the crabber son's actually like basically Jeff Bezos. So again, he needs to make a name for himself on the battlefield, and so he wants to pledge himself to a lord at some point and become part of the household guard.
I love
Yeah.
that the crabber is essentially just like a Donald Trump or a White Goodman. Yes, I worked very hard for this and a small inheritance from my father. So what?
Like Jeff Bezos started Amazon in his garage with $1 million loan from his dad. Yeah, exactly.
Oh boy, the crabber. Guys, let's go to the flashback. Let's do this because I think the flashback did a good job of like giving us really obviously Dunk's past, but why he is the way he is, what he has seen, and we get this relationship that he has with Rafe, who's the girl that we mentioned before. We've seen her before in Dune Prophecy, but she had a few lines in this, and there was I wanted to get your guys' take on this because it didn't. I don't want to say that it didn't feel like a great relationship, but it almost felt like the borderline abusive relationship type thing where it's like he didn't have anyone else, so he kind of just sticks with this girl Rafe, who just like every day, maybe it's out of love, but like every day kind of just calls him stupid, says the thing about his mother, and then she apologizes. It did feel a little bit like being in a aggressive relationship for him.
Very Wuthering Heights.
Okay, good. Let's do this.
I had to say it.
Well, she's the brains, he's the brawn, and she's taking
Yeah.
advantage of that. So
Yes.
and living in the filth and squalor of Flea Bottom probably doesn't lead to a lot of
Savory
warm
people.
and fuzzy emotions. Yeah, or being able to express yourself in a meaningful way that's not like you're dumb.
Yeah. Well, also being a woman in that environment, you probably have to be more scrappy and more intelligent on how you handle yourself than necessarily a man does. And in this girl boy, because they're young, I still see a lot of scrappiness in her that I would imagine if you're growing up in a very rough environment, you have to keep your head on a swivel. And she's got that about her. While Dunk is probably always been tall for his age and kind of strong and, a little bit easier to ask to do things and just does them without question rather than she would.
It definitely
That
reminded
makes
me of a
lot of
sibling
sense. I mean,
relationship.
to me, to be like she's young. I don't want to say single girl, but a girl alone, in Flea Bottom, you got to become feral, I think, to like,
Oh,
to
absolutely.
basically make it,
She locked on to Dunk because she saw his genuine good nature and was like, all right, well, now at least I've got someone that I'm not alone and we can, have each other's back and I know he'll have mine. But I need to make sure that he's being more realistic because even in that scene where we watch him, he was going to attempt to smother this night. I feel like he was doing that out of a sense of like, trying to make sure this guy wasn't suffering.
Yeah,
and then she's
mercy.
trying to say like keep him alive so we can ransom him because that's the scrappy side. So I definitely feel like they are important to each other in this symbiotic relationship.
It shows you both sides of like what you could be in Flea Bottom. Like even
Yeah.
if you are poor and you're like in their situation, Dunk has still always been this same kind of guy, regardless of what his situation was. And they give you that quick little like brief conversation there where maybe I read it wrong, but where he says like, I'm not stupid. I know my mother's dead, but what if she comes back? And she's just like, you are stupid. Like Dunk's been hearing this his whole life. And I know he has said that, but to see it actually like come to fruition in a flashback of him young, even around the people that care about him the most, someone who he says he loves, it's just like, damn, he really had no shot of ever not feeling like he was stupid.
It kind of explains why he responded to that comedic moment with Egg in like
Yes, I was
episode
just gonna
2,
say.
where it's just like people just call me stupid all the time, and he's just like, and what
And?
business of that is yours? It's like, don't talk about my ex like that. Play it. Keep on
Egg's like, is that the end of the story? He's like, yes, obviously.
Also, does Dunk have a type?
Yeah, I said that the whole
Yeah.
time. I was like, Dunk has a type. Respect.
My
bro.
wife was telling me, she was
Respect.
like, you and Dunk, samesies.
Something that George R. R. Martin does in the novella a lot is repetition of this one phrase, and Dunk is usually the one thinking it over and over. And he's like, "Dunk the lunk as thick as a castle wall," and it's like kind of a throw line that he thinks of himself over and over, even though he then shows and exemplifies him actually being smart. He thinks about things, he thinks things through, and he actually comes up with a plan. But his internal monologue has just been, since he's a kid, is that he's kind of dumb. He's a big dum-dum. And that just unfortunate, like self-talk limits himself in these early stories. But eventually I'm sure he'll get to the point where he's like, no, I am capable. I am not only strong and physically able, but I'm also smarter than I give myself credit for.
I feel like the Baylor death is going to help with pushing him past this 100%.
And his relationship with Egg for sure helps.
Yeah.
Egg
love what
kind
you
of
said
becomes
here.
Rafe. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. You're absolutely right, Jag. I love what you said here, though, Koff, about him like kind of having this inner monologue, and it's obviously very different because it is a book. But I know that with the book, like his monologue is actually him talking himself through the strategy of I'm bigger than him, I can street fight better than him. Talking about him and Aryan Bright Flames, if I can get him on the ground, that's it, I will win. And I almost wonder, like, could this fight have been even elevated a little bit more by potentially hearing some of his thoughts or having a flashback to Dunk having a fight as a kid where maybe someone was more skilled than him, but like Dunk's able to get him to the ground. Because I just think like those little moments, something from the book that you didn't get on screen here, I don't know it needs it, but it could have amplified it just ever so slightly.
We did get a little bit of a fight in the alleyway there when he did go after that thief and bit him in the neck. So he does know that he can, if
can
he
be, like,
has,
feral.
yeah, he can be feral. He can turn that on. And I think that that was a little bit in terms of part of the flashback doing what you're
call.
calling out. Though I do feel like that is a really good kind of callback that would have been nice too.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this was our penultimate episode.
Cough.
We've got-
You got to give Cough his 30 seconds.
Koff needs his 30.
Yeah, we have a new kingly.
Oh, good. Your mic's going out just in time.
No, is it Crocker?
Oh my God.
Koff, we'll give you 60 seconds next episode. That means it's
No.
perfect time here.
No. Wait, is my mic really messing up?
No,
Oh,
you're
wait.
good. You're good.
It
You're
sounds
good.
like
Go.
it's coming
Good.
back.
Start the
Go.
clock.
Cool.
Start the
Cool,
clock.
start the clock. Okay, this week I want to talk about the Targaryen king order from Aegon the
This
First
week.
to the current Crown Prince Valar. Let me know when I can start.
Go.
All right, cool. So it starts with Aegon the First, the Conqueror. He's followed by his son Aenys. He is then usurped by his brother Maegor. Maegor the Cruel is then replaced by Jaehaerys. Jaehaerys is replaced by Viserys. Viserys is replaced by Aegon II, who's replaced by Aegon III, who's replaced by Daeron the young dragon, who brings Dorne into the fold. He's replaced by Baelor Blessed. He's replaced by Viserys II, who only rules for like a year, and then he is followed by Aegon IV, the Unworthy, and then we got Daeron II is the current king, and now the crown prince is Valar since Baelor died.
And question, we're talking about good King Jaehaerys when you say after Maegor,
Yes.
right? Correct.
Jaehaerys the Conciliator, the old
Yeah.
king, the one that ruled for like 60 years.
Yeah.
He's the one that had the great council that named Viserys as his heir because he had no living sons.
You should be proud of me, Koff, because I am the only one here who has read Fire and Blood. So
I am very proud of
fucks
you.
everyone
Thank you.
else.
Yeah, read a book, Alfredo.
You know, I haven't read the book, but I do think that the show might be better, especially the last season. Well, guys,
Toxic.
finale next week. I can't imagine there's a lot of ways that this show does not stick the landing here. I'm really excited for it. I do think that the timing has been perfect, and we're gonna get this show every single year. That's just phenomenal news. Can we hold on before we leave here? Can we talk about the possible rumor that our Dexter Soul Ansel may have let out of the bag that
Witcher.
Henry Cavill might be part of season 2?
Which would be fucking awesome. If he is
Sam,
actually
can we
cast
even
as
have
Damon
Sam on that
Blackfire,
pod? Can you even handle yourself, Sam? That's too
No.
much. That's
She
too
wouldn't be
much,
able to
dude.
talk.
Sam will be
My palms got sweaty.
Mom Spaghetti? No, sorry.
I'll behave. Please don't kick me off the show. I want to talk about it.
But honestly, if you want to talk
We'll have
about
you.
like a really good casting for Damon Blackfire, Henry Cavill makes sense because
Yeah,
he is
because
supposed
he's
to
charismatic.
exemplify. Well, not only that, but the reason that the Blackfire Rebellion happened was not only that Aegon IV legitimized all his bastards, but also because his son that he favored, Daemon Blackfire, looked like Aegon the Conqueror reborn. And so his brother, who ends up on the throne, Darren II, is more bookish and is like more like Master Aemon type, where he's quiet, he likes books and likes reading. So from like a visual standpoint, Daemon, who has Blackfire the sword, looks like this badass warrior. Everyone's like, that should be the king. So that's why it makes sense that Henry Cavill would be cast.
Alpha energy. Usually, we only
Very
follow
much,
alphas.
very much.
Uh-oh.
If we've learned
Sam's like, me
anything,
too.
if we've learned anything, large white men tend to win in these stories.
Ugh, now it's gross. End it.
Yeah. Sorry, you put it out there.
I did not. You did. I did
Not
not. Good
always
son.
All right, that's gonna be a wrap for us. We're gonna be back again next week with more Night of the Seven Kingdoms with the finale. As always, we've also got the Pit every Thursday, and every Tuesday we've got the biggest headlines in entertainment news. Be sure, if you are an NFL fan, you enjoy sports, check out Front Row NFL Show with myself, Sam, and Jag. And as always, I want to thank everybody for watching or listening all the way through. For myself, for Jag, for Sam, for Koff. I'll see you next time. Adios.